Hello, Connective. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Like, share, and subscribe without smashing anything, and let's get into this energy. This is a collective reading for Pisces. Pisces, I have the wrong cards. I'm going to pull one of these first. One to three, like jumpers. We'll see what happens. Okay, just going to go through it. Interesting. Wow. Any more out of this deck? Ooh, okay. So this is the Eight of Forces, the lightning bolt. I want to say that's like a fire energy. And let's see what the energy oracle has to say. What is going on? Let's see. Yeah. Actually be easier to shuffle like this. There we go. I just saw deceit on the bottom. Let's just hope that one doesn't come out. Let's see if we can get a couple jumpers from the energy oracle. They do seem to be moving. Let's see what will come out for Pisces. Just going to go through it a couple more times, and if not, well, oh, interesting. What is that? Okay. First chakra, Archangel Michael. Interesting. Okay. I'll do one more time. Oh, wow. Wow. All right. Appreciation came out for Cancer. Let's see what's going on. All right. All right. So there we go. Appreciation. And what else we got here? We already said first chakra, Archangel Michael. I called it Micro before too. That is our root chakra. All right, so we have a woman holding a coin. I'm gonna put that one here. And the garden in the gate. So we remember this card. She's got the key around her neck. She could leave at any time. We're gonna put this over here, and we have this guy right here. So, hostilities. We'll put that next to the lightning bolt and envy. All right. So we traded, deceit for envy. Let's see what Alice has to say about this. So this is that lightning bolt. When I first saw it, it really just came off like a tower, like the tower card. Something ending. Maybe it's the hostilities and the envy. That would be cool. Huh. Definitely trying to manifest something with that appreciation card here. Figure out what the garden in the gate has to do with it. Maybe you have to physically walk away, but then that lightning bolt shouldn't necessarily be there unless it's telling you either have to walk away or it's going to be done for you kind of thing. Let's see what we got from your perspective. Changed in the night. So, yeah. Cancer got this. What else we have? Okay. I wonder what will happen next. All right. So, yeah, starting an adventure. And then set your course. Yeah. So, there we go. I mean, this could just be like the chaos that's around you. Getting away from it. Becoming more like grounded and stable by yourself. It says change in the night, and it says changing quickly, and we always say there's like two cards in this deck. There's one like changing and then one that's changed. But I always say, like, when you change overnight, like a lot of times it's a process that you live through that you understand, but then other people just see like from the beginning to the end result kind of thing. So for them you changed overnight, but for you it took like, I was going to say millennia. But yeah. It looks like it was a choice too. It wasn't like something happened and it changed you, like how I usually talk about, or you changed because of it. Like you just chose to change. You were like in it and just chose to change. Just said, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm gonna go through this one more time, and then if not, I'm gonna pull 3. And then we're gonna read that lightning bolt card. Yeah. All right. Let's see what's up. What's this? So we've got full moon in Libra, find balance, find a balance. And we have, look, these are all full moons. Full moon in Sagittarius, see the bigger picture. And then full moon in Aries, cool your emotions. Cancer just got that. So their emotions were like more of a byproduct. You might genuinely be upset at somebody for messing around in your situation. Let's see. Let's take a look at this. Whoa. Hostilities. The lightning bolt. The 8 of forces. Let me see. So the lightning bolt. A lightning bolt illuminates a stormy night sky, striking a tree down to its core. Puddles of rain pool upon the ground. This card shows that it is time of splitting apart, a time of loss, disappointment, or even a metaphorical death. You may be feeling wounded, grieved, or gravely disappointed. The loss could be a career opportunity, romantic relationship, partnership, creative project, or friendship. At first glance, the event may seem sudden or unexpected, but in the light that flashes, we see the deep puddles of a storm that has been going on for some time. You've probably been aware of the threat or difficulty at some level, even if you were unwilling to acknowledge it before. Now it's time to accept the situation and not fight what's so. There is benefit coming, but it often takes an ending to bring forth a new beginning, and a storm to cleanse the field. So the Akashic force, these cards have an Akashic force. This one says, imagine a lightning bolt striking nearby, leaving destruction in its wake. Now close your eyes and with a deep breath, feel the energy of lightning stir within you. It's almost as if the finger of God is yours to employ. How do you want to direct this energy in your life? Because I do see that part of this is like through a control of deciding that you don't want to be in it anymore. However that looks to you, however hostilities looks to you, or however, whoever has the envy, however they're bringing it, or whatever lower vibration they're bringing. This card's pretty dark, but yeah, below it, this right here is a reflection of what's happening. It's like the ripple effects of this and this. And just one day that lightning just came down. Everybody went, wow, that tree. And you were like, no, I was aiming for that tree. Right? I wonder what will happen next. Like, you definitely want to, if there's been any kind of, lower vibrational hostilities, even if somebody's doing it on purpose, you definitely do want to cool your emotions. Again, that's why appreciation is here. You don't want to get caught up in that vibration because you're moving towards something else. And I don't usually pick this up necessarily. I mean, it doesn't always have to be a woman or a man, they don't always have to be holding a coin, but I do feel like for this particular situation that it might be a little bit messing with your money. Whatever's going on, it's either someone's supposed to step up and help you earn money, or somebody's using some of the money or doing something with the money, and to the point where you would have better if you didn't have to deal with that. And you have like a choice, basically. Do you go through the gate, right? You could do either, depending on how bad the situation is. Maybe you know how grounded you are. You might feel like, okay, well, I've known this person a long time. I can deal with this. I don't need to go anywhere, right? It's a possibility. If you can see the bigger picture and you can find balance in that situation, nobody expects anybody to leave. I don't usually say that here on this channel. I mean, I will say, you know, ditch bad friends and stuff like that. But, you know, sometimes situations just are what they are. There doesn't have to be a villain. There doesn't have to be a thing that happened, an event. You know, it doesn't have to be. People can just break up. They can just, things can change. People can change, right? They can just, it'll seem like, oh, yesterday you were like this, you know. Sometimes you find out something about somebody that's not even like a huge deal, but for some reason it just really doesn't mesh with you. It's kind of like, you know, if you loved animals and then you just, you know, found out this person likes to hunt, you know, and you're kind of like, wait, you know, sometimes it is something like that. I mean, it doesn't have to be something like that, but in the way where nobody can really explain what happened, just the passion left or something changed to the point where, you know, the situation wasn't extremely solvent anymore. I mean, this kind of tells me that somebody was doing it on purpose, but, you know, maybe they were bringing envy and hostilities without necessarily doing it on purpose. Maybe for the most part, you know, they're a good person, but they carry a lot of stuff with them. And as a result, like, things get kicked up, or, you know, there's always this introduction of, like, you know, some vibration in the mix that you wouldn't necessarily deal with because you don't cater to that kind of thing, you know. But either way, it does seem like it's either something inside you or something from the outside that just ends this connection thing, just decides, you know what, I'm no more of this, no more of this, or whatever comes with it kind of thing. You just decide, just change it, right? And you say, you know, maybe I don't know where I'm going, but I'm not going in the direction that I'm coming from. So I'm going to go, you know, somewhere else kind of thing, forward, you know. Again, not being upset about even, like I said, even if somebody brought that hostilities on purpose, don't let that cloud your moving forward. You know, these things can take as long as we let them take. We can drag it out. We can take a long time to appreciate anything. You know, we can just be totally not grounded and just be upset with someone because of the way something happened, like to the point where we let it change us to the point where we can't, like, function properly, or just, you know, move on in a sense where we could be, like, actually balanced, you know. Maybe even to the point where we can't move forward because we're paralyzed with fear, because we feel like if we, you know, try to start something else later on, that it'll be the same thing. We won't be, like, excited about what will happen next, so we'll be fearful of it, right? Meanwhile, we're not even remembering the fact that if we were just appreciative for what we had, more things would come to us that we could appreciate, right? Even though this came, and maybe this was there, you know, it was also ended either by you or through some other means. So it's just the idea of, you know, sometimes, I don't know why I'm getting this notion. I feel like somebody watching this, like, that when the thing was ended, it was ended in a way where it was presented to be your fault, but it wasn't really your fault. Like, you weren't bringing this and you weren't bringing this, but somebody was like, well, this is over because of you. And you might have made a decision or something that somebody didn't want to go along with based on what was happening, to, like, put your foot down or assert yourself, or maybe to just say, no, you know, this is the kind of relationship that I want. But either way, acknowledge the choices that the other person made. If you're being blamed for the end of something that either you didn't necessarily cause to end, like you didn't know that was going to end it, or you just made a decision that you can't, like, it's a deal breaker for you and somebody else is, like, giving you crap about it, don't pay any attention to that's a ploy. People, when they are in stuff and they're, like, bringing stuff, they know what they're doing. Even if they don't do it on purpose, they know what they're doing. But Most of the time they're doing it on purpose. They don't, oops, I created hostility in my relationship. Whoops, I created hostility in my relationship. Whoops, I created envy in my relationship. Whoops, I brought hostility again. I mean, I submit to you that if they are that way, they're not learning anything, right? Might be better to just try to find balance without that person, right? That might be one of the times that I might say, hey, maybe you shouldn't hitch your wagon to, you know, this. But, you know, like I said, there is a choice here. There's a way that you can look at this to where you can go in a direction that you want to go with or without this person. And you don't have to take this with you. You don't have to take this with you. With the right person. If the person that you're trying to go with isn't like, their desire is not to be balanced, then you're not going to be able to have balance with them. It doesn't matter how grounded you are. They're just not going to allow that to happen. The things that you want, the things that you would build by yourself if you were by yourself, those things are not going to come as easy if they do come at all. Especially if you forget where you're going because you're with someone who is, you know, pointing you in another direction than you need to go or that you want to go. Right? And again, not giving you much to appreciate. If they're not giving you much to appreciate, then you're not gonna, you'll want to end it, but you might even like listen to what they say if you are being blamed, or you could even blame yourself. We haven't pulled the blind spot yet. We're going to do that in the extended reading. So we'll find out what the blind spot is, if it's something you're bringing, something somebody else is bringing, as far as either what caused that actual, what I'm calling the tower moment, or just the thing that is creating the conflict as on the way out the door, because you're still supposed to see the bigger picture and find a balance, which means that you either weren't shown the whole picture, or you, like I said, have somebody in the situation that will not allow for balance. They're not geared towards balance. That's not their outcome. You know, that's great if you're always wondering what, you know, new horror they're going to bring. But not so much when you're trying to like build something or do something that where there's no place for hostility or where there's no place for envy. I mean, usually in a relationship, we're talking about that. We're talking about, where does hostilities belong in the relationship? Is this like an aggressive, like, you know, video game, you know, like your team against mine? Or what are we talking about here as far as where do hostilities belong in a relationship? You know, I'm just trying to figure out if this could be work too. I mean, technically nothing here really says relationship. There's even money on the table. And for Cancer, it could have been work for them too. Like this, none of this screams relationship. I mean, it could be a relationship at work. But their reading, Cancer's reading, was centered around like the commitment. And your reading is centered around the tower, the ending. So, you know, setting your course, part of it for sure. Changing, maybe a byproduct of it. I think it's more like you changed and then that like somehow brought this, even if it was like just energetic. But to the point where you ended something that someone else was pulling, and then I don't really see it on the table, but I want to say got blamed for it. Let's find out what the blind spot is. I think we're ready to pull the blind spot, Pisces. If this is your story, meet us over at the extended. The link will be in the description. And if not, until we meet again.